Hey everybody, welcome. I really miss you guys. I just thought I'd jump on here really quick and do a fun little marker activity with you that you could use to make a beautiful Mother's Day card. This is done with Sharpie and Crayola markers and a brush and some water. So that's what you're going to need. Now, I'm going to move this to the side. We'll do something sort of like this. It won't be exactly the same. You're going to need 2 pieces of paper, and I'll tell you why. One of them, we're going to fold right in half like a card. And if you didn't know this, when you open a card, you want the fold to be on the left side so that it opens like this. Okay, so most cards have the fold on the left side. Okay, and then you're going to need just a piece of scratch paper. It doesn't have to be new paper. It could be something old or newspaper or whatever. Then you're going to need to put that inside your card because we're going to use Sharpie to do our drawing at first, and then we're going to put some color to it. So you need to have something underneath. It's important that you use a Sharpie for this, a permanent marker, other than a water marker, because we're going to actually add some water effects to this. And if we don't use the permanent marker to do our drawing, our lines will blur. Okay, so the first thing you need is a Sharpie and a bunch of Crayola markers like these. And you need a brush. You can maybe use a detail brush or one of these round brushes. Watercolor brush would be fine too. And a glass of water and maybe a paper towel to blot your paint on. Okay, so that's what I have right there. The first thing we're going to do is look at the space. And you could do a border on this after it's done. We're going to kind of try to keep our picture right here. And I thought maybe it would be kind of fun to do a jar that has flowers in it. So we're going to start with like a smile. And then a couple of humps. And then we're going to go out just a little bit and down. Like a shoulder. And then we're going to make another smile down here like that. That's going to be our vase that our flowers are going to go into. So the next thing that we're going to do is just draw some stems coming out in different directions, and they are going to look like they're setting in the water and coming out, and you want to kind of organize them to where some are big and some are small, and some of them might go really tall, and maybe we'll make this one into a leaf, some sort of greenery. And let's see, we might need something in the center. So let's do something in the center. And then maybe this one's going to be a leaf. Okay. And we're going to put like 3 or 4 flowers, maybe 5 flowers on there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to have another one. Maybe we need one that's going to go over here, or maybe in one of these 2 places, or both if you want. I'm going to start down here, and it's okay if they come over each other. And then maybe one more is going to go like this. Okay? So now we have our stems and a couple leaves. You could make this one a leaf if you want, but we're going to put some flowers on our thing now. So we're going to take our Sharpie, and we're going to kind of float up above our stick a little bit and put the center of the flower. And then we're just going to make some petals for our flower. We want it to be, usually flower petals have like five parts. You know, odd numbers. 5, 7, 9. But your flower can have whatever you'd like. And I'm going to just make some flower spots on here. You could even turn your flower sideways. Make this one like a tulip. Let's see, maybe this one's one of those that hangs down too. Maybe it has some little dots that stick out of it. Okay, and then maybe there's a little one right here. Maybe this one only has 4. And it kind of looks at a funny spot there, so we might do another one here. Okay. And then maybe this is a leaf. Kind of has some wiggly parts. Maybe we want to have another big flower that's right here. So we're going to kind of draw, let's just draw the flower first. And then we're going to make that come down inside. Okay, so now we have our flowers drawn. And we want to put a little line in the back where the back of the jar is. And we can bring some of these down a little bit further. Like that. Okay, we got our flowers. Let's see how many flowers we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 flowers. That's a good number. Okay, so the next thing you got to do is pick your colors, okay? So for this, I think I'm going to go with like a purple, some purples. I'm going to use some warm colors and cool colors, okay? My cool colors are going to be these greens and these purples. My warm colors are going to be orange and yellow. Okay? So let's go ahead and try this new technique, okay? So the first thing I want to do is I want to do my jar. So I'm just going to do the outline, and I'll show you why. We're just going to do the outline like this, because we're going to use a watercolor technique to make this kind of change its look. And then we're going to go ahead and do our leaves. Start with the light color, and then you're just going to do your stems and your leaves. Color them whatever green color you want. You could even use a darker green if you wanted. I'm going to start with my light color and then add some darks in on top of it. And we're going to hit all of our stems. Okay, we got all of our stems done. And then maybe we're going to hit with some dark green. So maybe in here we can have some dark down at the bottom as it goes into the thing. Just to give it some cool color variations. Okay, then I think we're going to go with the watercolor portion. So for right now, let's show you that technique. I'm going to use these 2 purples for this part, and my brush, my medium round brush. Okay, I'm making it a little soft so that it works well. Let's just make sure this doesn't have any pigment. I'm going to dip it in my water. I don't know if you can see that. Dip it in my water, and I'm gonna go ahead and rub it on this blue marker. And what that's going to do is it's going to, just like watercolor, like we did in our class, it's going to sort of fan out from that place. And we're going to let it kind of do its thing. You don't have to cover the whole thing, but if you do, you get to see how it kind of looks like it's inside the jar. It's kind of neat. Rinse your brush. We don't want any of that blue at the top. Now let's do one of our flowers. Let's start off with this guy. He's interesting. And we're just going to put some water on there. Just water. Straight water. I didn't do the center, but if it gets in the center, it's okay. And I'm going to take my purple marker, and I'm just going to touch that water pool that I put in my picture. And it's going to fan out and fill that flower, just like watercolors would do. And we're going to let that kind of do its thing for a minute, and then we'll do another flower. You know what I forgot to do is I forgot to grab some pink. Maybe we should do some of these flowers pink. So let's do some water in this flower. You can trick your family into thinking that you are a watercolor. This is a watercolor artist work. Take your pink or whatever color you want. This is pretty pale, so I may end up using the darker one. I like it, but it's really pale. So I think I'm going to go with this hot pink instead. And I'm going to set it down on there. It shows up a little bit better. So I'm just touching that water really careful inside the picture. Just like when you're coloring with your coloring book. Okay, and if it's still not runny enough, you can come back in with a little water. and just touch it and it'll sort of fan out. Well, let's do a different flower. Maybe we should do these colors the same. I don't know what color we should do. Maybe the orange and the yellow for that. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to show you how to do it this way. Just color it yellow first. And then you're going to take the water and put it at the base of the flower, the bottom edge where it connects to the leaf. And then take your orange and touch it. Oh my goodness, isn't that pretty? You're not rubbing it, you're just touching it to the water, okay? And that's going to give it a cool shape. Now look at can you see my marker? When some of the ink comes out, it turns white, but don't worry. When you cap your marker and leave it to set, it'll all go back in there. Okay, so don't worry if your marker looks white on the end after you've watercolored with it. That just happens. But when you cap it and you hear that snap and put it down, it'll go back to normal in a little bit. All right, so let's think about what color we'd like to do here. Maybe, I don't know. Do we want to do a blue? We've done pink. Maybe just a yellow by itself. Or maybe that light pink again. Let's do the light pink. I think that'd be pretty. So we'll go ahead and fill this here with water. And as you can see, our vase has sort of started to come out. Need my pink marker. You can see it's already starting to fill back up, so I'm going to use a different side. And I'm going to go ahead and touch this to the water just to get a little bit. I'm just doing a light tap in that pink flower. Oh, isn't that pretty? Okay, now we've got these two little tiny flowers right here. Now, if you have a different color, different kind of sets of markers than I do, I don't have a whole bunch of colors, just a few. I might do a purple there for those little flowers. So let's go ahead and hit that with some water. I'm just letting it like a polka dot on each petal. Setting these in. Excuse me, I just burped. I had some wontons for lunch. They were delicious, but I think my tummy's having a little fun with it down there. Okay, I'm going to take my water and just blend these leaves in a little bit, and our picture's almost done. And you could, do some more things to it. If you didn't like the way that this worked, you could come back in again with a little darker at the edge and see what happens. Kind of fun. And maybe you want to do some little bands on your jar or write something. You could write something on there. But then you're going to write your message on your card. You're going to write something, Happy Mother's Day, or You Are Beautiful, or whatever you want to write to your mom. And then this is going to dry. And when it dries, you'll be able to open it up and write a nice message to Mom on the inside. This is still a little bit wet. I'm kind of scared to pick it up, so I'm going to tap it with my paper towel. Make sure I don't drip. Isn't that beautiful? And you can do that with Crayola markers. Now look, aren't you glad we put that under there? See, our paper picked up all that stuff that went through the card, because this is just copy paper. So, and then you're going to write a message to your mom. Happy Mother's Day, Mom, you're the best. And then sign your name. So that's one quick way you can make a card for your mom for Mother's Day. I hope you've had a really great time, and I hope you'll give this a try. Have a good day. Don't forget, every single day, to create something new. Bye for now.